the go. This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
I can't really say that I've ever had an inmate in this jail before, or a crime that's shocked the community as much as this one has, where we've had more justification than we have in this case to isolate somebody.
Protecting the people accused of killing Savannah Greywind and taking her baby isn't a job many people are signing up for. But that's exactly what officials have to do here in Cass County as part of their duty. Valley News Team's Clint DeRose has more on this heavy responsibility.
Andrew Frobing, an administrator at Cass County Jail, is responsible for the safety of all inmates moving through the facility. He's been given the task of making sure that Brooke Cruz and William Hone, who were arrested in connection to Greywind's disappearance, have their chance for a fair trial.
They're not subject to vigilante justice. They are entitled to their day in court.
Right now, the two are isolated from physical contact with other prisoners as part of a protective custody called special management. Frobing, along with other jail officials, decided that this would be the best option, not only to protect the two accused, but also to keep other inmates safe.
I have to take into account that somebody might try to do something impulsive, and if they fight back, what if they end up hurting another inmate? Then we're going to be sitting here saying, you knew what they were capable of based on their charges. Why didn't you keep them separate in the first place?
There's also the concern that any attack against Hone or Cruz could start a chain reaction of violence.
We try to deal with problems while they're small before they get big. And if I can avoid a fight between two people from starting, then I can avoid it from spilling over into something larger.
Frobing knows how people feel towards the two prisoners in his charge and doesn't want to take a side in the argument of what should happen to them. However, he says that it's his responsibility to protect the lives of all of his inmates, regardless of what they're accused of.
It's my duty as a jail administrator, whether people agree with it or not, to make sure that no one can intentionally cause them harm. And there is plenty of sentiment out there for me to justifiably be concerned about that.
A concern that'll make for a long wait, with these two facing many court dates as investigators seek justice for Savannah Greywind. In Fargo, Clint DeRose, Valley News Live.
The next court date for Cruz is September 28th, and Hane will be in court on October 4th. They will remain in protective custody until jail officials think that they are no longer at risk for themselves or to others. Meanwhile, another development in the Savannah Greywind investigation. Authorities are now saying a farmstead near where Savannah's body was found is no longer considered a crime scene. Her body was wrapped in plastic and discovered in the river near Harwood, close to that farm. Fargo police say they are still actively pursuing all leads and options to determine where the murder took place. Meanwhile, Savannah Greywind's death has the community heartbroken. People around the world are interested in hearing about the baby girl everyone assumes is Savannah's. Greywind's mom and dad, along with her boyfriend, are now able to see the baby girl, Hazley Joe. She's healthy, and we're told she looks just like Savannah. As of today, they haven't heard when the baby will be released to the family. They are currently working on funeral plans. The Ramsey County Medical Examiner tells us Greywind's body can be released once the family chooses a funeral home. They're also asking that if you do want to donate, do so on their U.S. bank fund named Hazley Joe. Fraud fundraisers have been a major issue for the family. Coming up after whether a Fargo man's generosity continues on through his legacy. Plus, we begin our countdown to Bison Game Day. More on the upcoming events leading up to Saturday in just a few moments. But first, Robert, it was a breezy day for most of us in the Valley. Other than that, fairly quiet. How does the rest of our night look?
Yeah, breezy today and a bit hazy, still kind of hazy as we take a live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network, looking off toward the softball fields, off towards the distance there. And we'll see some hazy conditions, some smoke from some Canadian wildfires has made its way on into the area. Should clear a lot of that out as we head through the day tomorrow. 67 degrees right now. Winds are still breezy. They're going to stay breezy overnight tonight and through the day on Friday. 66 in Langdon and Valley City as well as in Jamestown. Still 70 in Devil's Lake, but off toward the east, much cooler. 55 in Wadena and 57 in the Bemidji area. Winds, as mentioned, still breezy out there. They're going to stay breezy. Could see gusts over 20 miles per hour tonight and upwards of 30 miles per hour as we head through the day on Friday. Not a whole lot of cloudiness in the area yet, but it's on the way, moving in from the west. Underneath those clouds, we have seen some showers and storms out in western parts of the state. And as we head through the overnight hours tonight, might see a few showers develop up in the Devil's Lake Basin, a better chance for some showers and storms as we go through the day tomorrow. We'll show you that in just a minute in the hour-by-hour forecast. There are those showers and storms in northeastern parts of Montana and northwestern parts of North Dakota, and they'll slide on across the state, giving us that chance for showers and storms later on tomorrow. Showers and storms dying in the Rockies off toward the south. Some Showers and thunderstorms continue over parts of the southeast with what's left of Harvey. One severe thunderstorm just south of the Birmingham area. Numerous reports of tornadoes in northwest Alabama, northern Mississippi, and even in Tennessee earlier today. Jumping out into the Atlantic, all eyes on Irma. Now, Hurricane Irma, already a Category 3, a major hurricane, moving off towards the west and northwest. And it's about 7 to 8 days away from affecting land, but I'm sure you're going to be hearing about Irma over the next couple of weeks. Here in the Red River Valley, as we head through the overnight hours tonight, we'll see a bit of cloudiness, more cloudiness as we head into tomorrow morning, and that chance again for a few showers up in the Devil's Lake Basin. As we head towards tomorrow morning, chance for some showers and some thunderstorms. And as we head through the rest of the day, that's the first wave, and then we may see another wave develop as we head towards the afternoon and evening hours. Some of these storms later in the day, those are the ones that could be on the strong side. Keep it tuned to the latest forecast, and we'll let you know if anything gets out of hand as we head through your Friday. 61 to start off your day. It's already going to be breezy. Temperatures getting into the upper 60s by your noontime hour. Later on the day, that chance for some showers and storms, and temperatures in the low 80s. Picture of the day. This is a deer picture, early morning visitor in Goodridge, Minnesota. We're going to use that as the backdrop to our 7-day forecast. And again, that chance for storms Friday. But right now, the weekend, the 3-day weekend for many folks is looking good. Tailgating looking good before the game. And Labor Day Monday looking a little bit cooler and windy. And we're going to get cooler temperatures as we head towards your Tuesday and Wednesday. But we'll warm it right back up by Thursday.
And I know a lot of people are going to be eager to get their tailgating going early on Saturday morning. How's that looking?
It's looking fantastic. I mean, it might be a little cool in the morning, but come on, it's going to be nothing compared to what we'll see in a few months.
Don't say that. Thanks, Robert.
You got it.
Well, President Donald Trump is coming to North Dakota. He'll be in Mandan next week to make a pitch for tax reform. According to Congressman Kevin Cramer, the president is expected to visit the Tesoro refinery in Mandan on Wednesday. About 500 people have been invited to hear the president speak. Now, Valley News Live will be there to provide coverage of the president's visit to North Dakota. Today's announcement came shortly after we found out that a North Dakota company out of Dickinson is actually one of 4 contractors chosen to create concrete prototypes of the wall the president wants to build along the border between the U.S. and Mexico. And although funding for the wall remains in question, the prototypes are estimated to cost nearly $4 million and will be built in San Diego.
The prototypes are designed to be 30 foot long as well as up to 30 feet high. And they'll be in close proximity of each other, the 4 to 8 in the San Diego area. And then testing will look at things like the aesthetics of it, how penetrable they are, how resistant they are to tampering, and then scaling or anti-climb feature.
Final selection of designs will take place after a thorough review and evaluation of the prototypes. A North Dakota man is facing a DUI charge after a rollover crash in Benson County. Authorities say 43-year-old Brad Paulson was driving just south of Maddock when he went off the road and rolled. Paulson was taken by ambulance to a hospital in Harvey. Police say he is expected to be okay. Paulson was charged with DUI. The crash remains under investigation by the Highway Patrol. The superintendent of Northern Cass School could be facing sanctions from the school board after pleading guilty to a misdemeanor DUI charge. After the plea, a judge ruled that Corey Steiner must pay a $1,000 fine and also be placed on 360 days probation. Steiner was pulled over near Mapleton on August 12th, and he had a blood alcohol level that was twice the legal limit. Steiner is currently one of the administrators being tasked with filling the duties of principal at Northern Cass School. This is after former principal Ryan Lyson was let go earlier in August. A man has pleaded not guilty to several charges relating to a standoff with police. Tate Smith Neerlin of Fargo was arrested in early August for refusing to come out of a house in North Fargo. A woman that was home before the incident says she believes Smith Neerlin was suffering possibly from a mental illness and drug abuse. His charges include aggravated assault and terrorizing. And a North Dakota man will spend 15 years in federal prison for production of child pornography. 28-year-old Justin Wiley pleaded guilty to 1 count of production of child porn in November. Now, he's in more trouble after investigators found child porn files being shared from his computer. More than 7,000 suspected child porn images and 102 suspected child porn videos were found from Wiley's computer. A Moorhead man facing 4 felony child abuse charges is now requesting a trial. 31-year-old Sean Foltz requested a jury trial Thursday in Clay County District Court. Documents state that police were first alerted to the case back in May when a 2-month-old child was brought to the hospital with bruises and marks in several other places on her body. During the investigation, Foltz told police that he had rubbed hot sauce in the child's eyes, snapped her in the face with a towel, and would think of ways to hurt the child while he was at work. He is facing 2 assault charges, along with charges of child neglect or endangerment and malicious punishment of a child. A trial date has not been set. Tax statements for next year are showing up in mailboxes all across Fargo and West Fargo. And while we were told by lawmakers we'd see some property tax relief, that doesn't seem to be translating into lower dollar amounts we have to pay. We told you this was coming. The state throwing out a property tax relief program instead of using that money to fund county social services. What that means is an average of 8 to 9% in tax increases across the board. It's not only frustrating, it's downright confusing for most of us.
So I don't understand how that translates it. I know that a couple years ago people were quite frustrated. That the one thing is obviously mills, because I'm not an accountant, I'm not a public service person who understand these mills because usually they're being increased.
Residents in one South Fargo neighborhood say they've seen their bills increase anywhere from a few $100s to well over $600. Last year, the Salvation Army of Fargo served over 50,000 meals. And today the organization received a donation from a Fargo man that they say will help feed thousands more. Valley News Team's Molly Casey has a story.
They said they've never had a donation in this amount before.
For those that knew Gary Nelson, his giving spirit was obvious, but it wasn't until he passed away in July that it became clear just how much he had to give.
He passed away and he left them $50,000 for their food program.
Charlotte Bates was close friends with Nelson and says he spent many mornings at the Salvation Army eating breakfast with those that stopped in, so the organization was surprised by his large donation.
We don't expect anything in return for feeding people or helping people, so this $50,000 was a shock to everyone.
Julie Rivenes has worked for the Salvation Army in Fargo for 5 years and says the check is like no other donation the organization has seen before.
We have so many different programs that we run here. That $50,000 will go a long way.
Last year, the Salvation Army fed nearly 20,000 people. But the meal program is just one way the organization could potentially use the money.
We could use that to help people stay in their housing or to possibly get into new housing.
And for Bates, it's an honor to carry on Nelson's legacy by presenting the check.
He wanted to remember them.
From Fargo, Molly Casey, Valley News Live.
Ravenna S. says each meal costs less than $1 to make, so the donation will go a long way. But the organization can also use more volunteers to help create those meals and support other programs throughout the year. A pig picked up by police. It's not hogwash. No, it's snout a joke. Peppa the Potbelly pig tried to hoof it, but Grand Forks PD picked him a few days ago near downtown. The sneaky swine was taken to the Humane Society, so his owner didn't have to break the piggy bank to get him back. Only pay the city fine for picking up a stray. She was squealing with joy when she heard her pig was all right.
Yeah, when they said, like, we found your pig, and I was freaking out, like, is he still there? Where is he? Is he okay? Like, what's going on? I would be devastated if I lost him forever, so I'm so glad that we got him.
Hoofed animals aren't allowed in the city as pets. The only exception is miniature Vietnamese potbelly pigs. If you want to see Peppa's whole journey, go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Bison fans of all ages are getting ready for the kickoff to this year's football season. And they came together tonight at the Bison Block Party to share with their excitement. Valley News Live's Hutch Johnson got a chance to go out and mingle with the fans. But sports director Beth Houle was a little more daring and tried out the mechanical bull. Organizers say well over 1,000 people turned out for the event. And as a reminder, game day is this Saturday. If you can't make it at the Dome, be sure to tune in your TV to the KVLY Bison Football Network. The Farmers Union Insurance Bison Football pregame show starts at 1:30, with the kickoff to start the 2017 season at 2:30.